Welcome to Wisdom Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2405 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. In today's Wisdom Nugget, I'll guide you through the vast landscapes of biblical wisdom. Today we're delving into Psalm chapter 3, verses 1 through 8 from the New Living Translation. This powerful psalm, attributed to David, captures a moment of intense personal crisis and the deep trust he places in God amid his struggles. Join me as we explore the profound lessons of faith, trust, and deliverance found in this passage. Psalm chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. O Lord, I have so many enemies. So many are against me. So many are saying, God will never rescue him. But you, O Lord, are my shield around me. You are my glory and the one who holds my head high. I cried out to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy mountain. I lay down and slept, yet I woke up in safety, for the Lord is watching over me. I am not afraid of 10,000 enemies who surround me on every side. Arise, O Lord, rescue me, my God. Slap my enemies in the face. Shatter the teeth of the wicked. Victory comes from you, O Lord. May you bless your people. We begin with the first two verses, where David pours out his heart to God. O Lord, I have so many enemies. So many are against me. So many are saying, God will never rescue him. Verses 1 and 2. David's situation is dire. Enemies and voices of doubt surround him. The psalm is traditionally understood to have been written during the time David fled from his son Absalom, who had usurped his throne. Imagine the turmoil, the fear, and the sense of betrayal David must have felt. His son led a rebellion against him, and many others joined in, casting doubts on his relationship with God. David's words resonate with anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by adversity or circumstances. The feeling that everyone is against you, and that even God might not come out to your aid, is a heavy burden to bear. The phrase, God will never rescue him, reflects a deep despair, suggesting that others are questioning God's faithfulness and David's worthiness. In our lives, we may face similar voices, whether from others or from within ourselves. That challenges our faith and tries to make us doubt God's presence and power. Despite this grim outlook, David's faith shines through in verse 3. But you, O Lord, are my shield around me. You are my glory, the one who holds my head high. Here David makes a bold declaration of trust. He acknowledges that God is his protector, his glory, and the one who lifts his head. This is a significant shift in the tone of the psalm. From the place of despair, David moves to the place of confidence and hope. The imagery of God as a shield is powerful. The shield provides defense against attacks, and David envisions God surrounding him completely, offering protection from all sides. This is not a partial or temporary defense. It is all-encompassing and constant. By referring to God as his glory, David recognizes that his worth and honor come from God alone, not from their earthly status or accomplishments. The one who holds my head high further emphasizes God's role in restoring David's dignity and confidence. When we are discouraged and ashamed, our heads hang low, but God lifts our heads, giving us strength and assurance to face our challenges. In times of trouble, we can remember that God is our shield and our glory, and he will lift our heads high. David continues with verse 4. I cried out to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy mountain. This verse underscores the importance of prayer and the assurance that God hears and responds. David's cry is not in vain. It reaches God's holy mountain, symbolizes God's supreme authority and presence. David's experience encourages us to turn to God in prayer, especially in moments of distress. It's a reminder that God is attentive to our cries and that he responds not from a place of indifference, but from his holy and majestic throne. When we pray, we are not speaking into the void. We are communicating with the Creator who cares deeply for us and is able to intervene in our circumstances. Verses 5 and 6 reveals the profound peace that David finds in God. I lay down and slept, yet I woke up in safety, for the Lord is watching over me. I am not afraid of 10,000 enemies who surround me on every side. David can sleep peacefully despite his enemy's threat, knowing that God is watching over him. This level of trust is remarkable. It shows that true security comes not from our circumstances, but from our faith in God's protection. The ability to rest and sleep in turmoil is the testament of David's deep trust in God. It's a powerful message of faith that we can aspire to. When we are overwhelmed by life's challenges, we can find peace and rest in God's presence, knowing that He is vigilant and protective. Despite overwhelming odds, David's lack of fear teaches us faith, that it can triumph over fear. When we trust God, we can face any challenge with confidence. In verse 7, David calls for divine intervention. "Arise, O Lord, rescue me, my God. Slap my enemies in the face. Shatter the teeth of the wicked." This is a cry for justice and deliverance. The vivid imagery of slapping enemies and shattering their teeth reflects David's desire for God to defeat those who oppose him decisively. It is essential to understand that in the context of David's situation and cultural norms of his time. David's plea for God to rise and act is a common theme in Psalms. It reflects deep-seated belief that God's power will save and His willingness to intervene on behalf of His people. While language may seem harsh, it underscores the seriousness of the threat that David faces and the reliance on God's judgment. This verse reminds us that it's okay to bring honest emotions and requests before God. When we ask for His intervention and trust that He will act according to His perfect will, it also highlights the importance of seeking God's justice and righteousness in our lives and the world around us. David concludes the psalm with a profound affirmation in verse 8. "Victory comes from you, O Lord. May you bless your people." This declaration encapsulates the central message of Psalm. Ultimate victory and deliverance comes from God alone. David acknowledges his place of safety, peace, and victory that are gifts from God and not due to his own efforts. This final verse serves as a reminder of God's sovereignty and the source of true blessing. It calls us to trust God for our victories and to seek His blessing for ourselves and others. When we recognize that our success and deliverance are from God, we are reminded to live with gratitude and humility, giving Him the glory for all that we achieve. As we reflect on Psalm chapter 3, verses 1 through 8, several vital lessons emerge that we can apply to our own lives. The first is, turn to God in times of trouble. Like David, we can pour our hearts into God when facing difficulties. Knowing that God hears and cares, we can be honest about our fears and struggles. Second, trust in God's protection. God is our shield and our glory. When we place our trust in Him, we can find peace and rest even amid turmoil. We can confidently face challenges, knowing that God is watching over us. Third, seek God's judgment. It's okay to ask God to intervene and bring justice to our situations. We can trust that He will act according to His perfect will and achieve the best outcome. Fourth, acknowledge God as our source of victory. Our victories and successes come from God. When we recognize this, we live with gratitude and humility, giving Him the glory for all that we achieve. And fifth, pray with confidence. God hears our prayers in response from His holy mountain. We can confidently approach Him, knowing that He is attentive to our cries and capable of intervening in our lives. As we conclude our exploration of Psalm chapter 3, verses 1 through 8, let's carry these lessons with us on our journey. Turn to God in time of trouble, trust in His protection, seek His justice, acknowledge Him as our source of victory, and pray confidently. By doing so, we align ourselves with the Psalm's timeless wisdom and navigate life's complexities with faith and assurance. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Wisdom Trek. May these insights from Psalm chapter 3, verses 1 and 8 inspire and strengthen you as you continue your trek through life. Until the next time, keep seeking God's wisdom, cherish each moment, and continue making a positive impact in the world around you. And if you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.